She was like perfect casting for that character.
Dude, look at... And all right, these poses are too much. They went too hard on her poses.
Okay, you said you didn't want to objectify her this week, but you're the one who started it.
We shot Napoleon in 62 days.
Wow, that's
What?
2 months.
I'm doing Gladiator 2 now in 54 days. Because
What?
I'm not doing 50 takes with one camera on one shot and then turning it around. This normal fight scene could take anything up to a month. I'll take 6 days.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wise Works podcast. All of you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. We're not only on YouTube, we're also on Spotify.
Ooh,
so if you like watching podcasts on Spotify, watching, not just listening. You can choose to listen if you want, but watching on Spotify?
Oh man.
You do your
watching on Spotify?
pretty crazy.
Yeah, if you do your watching on Spotify. Also, Apple Podcast. And here's the thing. We're on a lot of podcast sites.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all of them. But you know what? And there's websites out there that literally are dedicated to just finding podcasts, collecting them, and advertising them on their website. Because they want people to visit their site to say, hey, this is a podcast that you can find on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And there's been many a sites that's done that with us. But they do it with everybody. So it doesn't really count. But all that to say is we're findable.
We are findable.
And on YouTube, you can watch it live at noon on every Friday on the Wiseworks Studio channel.
Mm.
We're also on Patreon, where you can watch almost a
Patreon.
week early. Now, all that to say, it's not an exciting intro.
Whew. Yeah, I'd have clicked off by now.
Here's the thing. I say all that because people already click off. Why do I feel spicy? Why do I feel spicy this week?
I'll tell you what
Did you eat some spicy last night?
Feeling critical. That's what you feel like.
Well, Joshua got me annoyed because right before we started,
I feel like I'm under a microscope. You know, it's like, oh, did you craft a perfect podcast for us today, Wyatt? Did you what's up with your memes, Wyatt? Why aren't they as good as they used to be?
Look,
you know,
I have confidence in the podcast, but look, I have evidence of the memes falling short.
Why are we talking about this topic again?
We're going
Wyatt?
back to this. We can't go back to this. Come on, let's hit them with something different.
Listen, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, as you said a few minutes ago.
But you have to be cooking.
I'm cooking, bro.
I'm trying to cook. I'm at least making an avocado toast.
That's not cooking.
I'm
smashing the avocados.
You can buy all the ingredients and spread it on top of each other.
Yeah, children can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I was cooking the other day. I made some beef stew.
Wait a minute. You just blew my mind. Is an avocado toast the equivalent to a kid's PB&J for adults?
Yes.
No, because a PB&J is just a PB&J for an adult.
No.
Yeah. Hand a PB&J to anybody. If they don't have a peanut allergy, they will accept it happily.
I mean, I'll probably accept it. Yeah.
Hand an avocado toast to anybody.
Jelly sandwich.
I would say 50% of the population will say no thanks.
Yeah,
because
so
they're not kids.
Well, no, most people are cool with a PB&J. I think it's just Josh in isolation who's like, the avocado toast is my PB&J.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes.
Maybe it's your PB&J.
But no, it is a simple thing to make.
Unlike roast.
Well, yeah, I didn't make roast. I made
you did? Yeah,
beef
you
stew.
did. You made beef stew. That was
Well, what's the
solid.
difference between a beef stew and a roast?
A roast is a slower process. You're taking hours and hours to slow roast that bad boy.
What was in the beef stew?
I had some meat, so I got some cubed meat from the store because there was a deal on it for beef stew, and I chopped up an onion, tossed it in to the pan with the meat, seared everything, Made sure to scrape everything off the bottom. Poured in my beef stock and my water and my flour. Let that boil down a little bit,
Can we
and then
take one step back? Flour? Do you put
yeah,
flour in beef
to
stew?
thicken it. So I didn't have any
To make it like
potatoes.
a gravy almost.
Yeah.
It's
To
called
thicken it.
a
Yes.
roux.
A roux.
I didn't actually make a roux though.
Wait. What's the difference between a roux and like a thickening gravy?
It's the same thing. You gravy is a
then
roux.
you did make a
basically.
roux.
Sort of. I didn't start with it though. I added the flour later, and then I didn't have any potatoes. I only had carrots and celery, so I chopped that up, tossed that in, and let it simmer for about an hour. And the meat was cooked. It wasn't as like fall apart as I would have liked it to. I should have cooked the meat before I put the vegetables in. I should have cooked the meat longer by itself and then put the vegetables in during the last 20 minutes.
Now, in my opinion, I don't think you're ever going to get that meat fall apart texture unless you roast it, unless you
No, you will.
It.
You will.
I don't know.
If you let it cook for over an hour, yeah, you will. Because the smaller pieces were super tender, fall apart in your mouth. But the bigger pieces, where a little bit more chewing was required.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate when you got a chewy piece of meat.
Yeah, it's not as fun. But yeah, next time, it definitely needed some mushrooms and potatoes to really make it a well-rounded, full-bodied kind of stew.
Right.
I haven't been cooking as much in the kitchen and making up these, meals. We haven't done as much here in Georgia as we did in Virginia Beach, I feel like.
Also, what a bummer. What a bummer.
I didn't measure anything.
Nice.
So
I'm
just
proud of
felt
you
it in
for
your
that.
gut.
I am proud of you for that,
and
Wyatt.
I think it turned out really good.
Just a
that
little
is the best way to make
sick
food
that day, and so I needed some stew.
John Mark said it was cowboy food.
Yeah, it was. It was a very basic stew, but it was a good stew.
What have you guys been enjoying on YouTube this week?
Oh.
Is there a creator called Stu?
No.
There has to be.
There's gotta be.
Have you guys been enjoying any new creators on YouTube?
Who did I watch last? I've kind of been on a mushroom kick, so I've been watching lots of mushroom content.
I swear this habit is gonna kill you. You're gonna die because you got slightly into mushrooms and you're gonna consume the wrong one.
No, I'll be fine.
Freaking, I do not trust whenever someone says, Karina got into mushrooms for a little bit, and I said, if you go down this road too long, you will die. And she stopped.
No. You're scared of something you don't understand. So that's why I'm doing all the research so I can understand it.
Okay, all right.
It's like, oh man, if you shoot guns too often, you're gonna die eventually.
No, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not, because
yes, it is.
If you point a gun and fire, you know what's happening is that thing's gonna die.
True.
But you could think a mushroom. You could think you're perfectly safe, and then in 2 hours, you could be dead, and just completely unknowingly. It takes you by surprise.
No, a lot of the mushrooms that are poisonous that look like the ones that are mimics of the ones that are like edible, those aren't like kill you mushrooms. Those are just like you'll be sick, definitely. I haven't been watching too much interesting stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
I feel like my content, and this is, making me an old man, but all of the content I'm consuming lately is like building stuff.
Nice.
Okay.
What kind of building? What kind of building?
I wouldn't say I've hit the wood crafting like I'm just watching wood like Joseph, but it's definitely like, how do I build this cabin type thing? And let me like look at this outdoor cabin building process. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this. So
you gotta be careful. A lot of those videos are fake. A lot of them are fake.
What do you mean fake?
Gosh,
They don't
man,
give
you
you
are
the
such a downer today.
they don't give you the
I know
full
how to build a
process.
cabin.
Oh
If I
my
wanted to
gosh!
build some, I would build
Don't
it.
have fun with mushrooms. Send better memes. All those videos are fake. Man, you
No,
need
no,
to.
no. I'm watching like building a cabin. There's this guy that actually this is really interesting. I'm gonna promote his channel on our channel because he's just a solid dude.
Oh, you're going to
What's his
promote him
name?
right now?
Yes.
I didn't know we do that.
His channel is called Betting on Alaska. And what he did, he graduated high school,
Went to Alaska.
put like I can't even remember, like $1,000 on some land in Alaska,
Mhm.
and is building a cabin in Alaska and just trying to live there.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's solid.
He's doing a. That's sick. He's doing just a nice little cabin.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, maybe it came up on my feed because there's a lot of people like, Oliver Anthony that's popping up in the world today, and he's got the same attitude where he just wanted to go to Alaska because he was just kind of tired.
Mhm.
So he wanted to
Oliver
create a
Anthony,
cabin.
bright, just shown really bright, and is not going to be around that for a while, right?
Mm.
I think Oliver Anthony has found his cult following, but it was like one pop off thing, and it really only popped off because he's able to sing from the soul. Not super unique. There's a lot of people that do that, but he
Who's this
talked about
person?
something. He's the guy who sang "Richmond, North of Richmond."
Okay.
Does
He's
that
out
make
in
any
the
sense to you?
To Wyatt? Or are you asking to me?
No, to Wyatt, yeah.
Yeah.
Wyatt, do you
No, I don't
understand
know.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
He's the singer guy with the big red beard that went on Joe
Oh,
Rogan.
yeah. Okay.
He went
and
viral.
sang the song.
Yeah. Now I know. Yeah.
About the government, basically.
Yeah.
And that's why it popped off. It spoke to what the harsh feelings of what Americans are feeling right now,
Mhm.
towards government, towards the economy, towards all of these things that we have no control over,
Yeah.
It spoke to it, and that's why it really popped off. And like I said, he's able to sing from his heart, which is a good quality, and you're going to find a good audience from that, but it's not going to sustain you because there's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oliver Anthony is, in some ways, do you think that this big blow up that's already sizzling out, do you think that
I don't think it's sizzling out. But
it's sizzling out? The conversation around him.
Well, Joe's on a negative thing today, so
I'm on a realistic thing.
He got offered I think it was $7 million tour with this company. They were going to pay for like flights and pay him $7 million to go tour around the United States and sing his songs.
Yeah,
He turned
a month
them
and a
down
half ago.
because he didn't want to become like backed by a big company, but he's still touring around right now. He just literally bought a trailer and he's driving from like state to state touring. And
yeah,
doing his
he'll find his audience. It won't probably be as big as the initial thing, but he found recognition, and yeah, he'll find his audience.
100%. That's what it needs to be. That's why I ask about YouTube, is because YouTube is the place to find an audience that's going to actually follow you. That's actually going to stick with you. And the reason why I say this is because this week, for some reason, I started going back to GMM.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. And I've been observing my habits because I watch a GMM episode and there's nothing I super love about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I hate about it. I just watch it, And I'm looking at these two guys, Rhett and Link, and I'm thinking, why do I just go back to these two fellas,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking it's because they found me as an audience member back in 2011. They found me,
No, before 2011, way before that.
Well, I remember the first thing I watched was their first epic rap battle, where Rhett's wearing the orange turtleneck or the red turtleneck with the necklace, And I think that was published in 2011. I think I've looked it up. So, with that said, it's just kind of, I've been thinking about building an audience. I've been thinking about the loyalty of audience members. And when I look at Rhett and Link's numbers, it is consistent, anywhere from 800,000 views to a million point something every single day, right? And that is how they continue forward. They have truly found an audience that is just with them till the end, till they decide they're done, you know?
Yeah.
And although I haven't for years been involved with GMM, I have for some reason stuck with Ear Biscuits. And I don't know why I've been sampling GMM again. Maybe I'm curious as to what it looks like these days, but I don't know. It's been an interesting week of thinking about my viewing habits, thinking about how people grow audiences, and thinking about how they evolve.
Yeah.
It does seem like maybe subtly, and you've probably been doing this for maybe a year or so now, but you like consumed from a mindset of what do I like in this moment? And now I feel like you're starting to have kids. So your mindset is on what are my kids going to enjoy? What did I enjoy when I was a kid, so that what kind of stuff is my kids
Looking
going to
back.
enjoy? And
Yeah,
what am I
looking
going to
back on
enjoy
what
with
you
my
enjoyed.
kids? Because I want to watch a movie with my kids.
Well, yeah, I definitely have been thinking about what am I going to enjoy with my kids, but I'm also just talking about my viewing habits as well, and not even.
Yeah, it's been all mushrooms for me. And dude, I found out it's a process. Mushroom growing.
Mushrooming.
Dude, mushroom growing is a process, and I don't know that I want to put in the money to grow my own. I think I'd just rather find them and
Just find them.
just have fun finding them.
So it's more like a hobby.
Yeah.
It's an
I mean,
exploration.
I would at some point like to attempt to grow like one batch of mushrooms.
Yeah, I think mushrooms could be fun, but I think growing things is an interesting world, but you have to kind of be innately interested in any kind of botany, I guess.
Yeah.
Mushroom growing is botany, correct?
I think so. Well, it is and it isn't, because it's different than growing just like Josh's avocado plant.
I could be growing the avocado
Because you have to create a there's several things. You have to have like the base stuff, which is like wood chips that are soaked, and then you have to have a culture that you put into another substance that you mix in with the wood chips, and then you have to. There's just a lot. There's a lot involved in growing mushrooms, and people have streamlined it so that you can just buy a culture and put it into the vat that you need to put it in.
So in some ways, growing mushrooms is in a similar vein to maybe brewing of sorts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get into mushroom growth.
I might. I might just try to buy like a pre-mixed bag and see if I can grow it.
Do it, I guess. Just be cautious on what you plop into your mouth.
The bags are
plopping.
going to be like, oh, this is Blue Oyster or Lion's Mane, or
there's no way you
just
can
be careful.
accidentally
Don't be
grow a
plopping.
different one, right?
Don't be plopping.
No, because the bags are sealed, so no other bacteria has got in there to spoil them. So when they start growing, they grow the mushroom that's in there.
All right.
The mycelium that has taken over that subculture is that mushroom.
Right.
What's our first topic? I'm just Fantastic
Yeah,
Four. Again.
I know that we did this recently. Wasn't last week or the week before?
The week before, we touched on the casting for Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. So there was this article that I saw, specifically Scroll down. Yeah, from Matt Shackman talking
Oh, no, not
about the
Matt.
movie. And you guys know he's working on the Monarch show as
okay.
well.
I do think I did see that. Yeah,
Apple TV's
Um,
Monarch.
Yeah, is this the quote? Yeah,
it
so
looks like a quote.
it is. This is the one. He was talking in an interview. He said it's different in so many ways, talking about Fantastic Four. I wish I could be specific. I wish I could say more, but we are doing things very differently from a story standpoint. From an approach to filmmaking, from a story standpoint to an approach to filmmaking standpoint that really fits the material. I wish I could say more. I would love to, but I can't. But I think it's going to be unlike anything you've seen before, and certainly unlike anything at Marvel that you've seen before.
All right,
But
I
we've
have
heard that before.
freaking
Yeah,
real
so-
gut reaction to this.
We've
I did as
heard that
well.
before.
We
Okay,
have-
Rachel Ziegler.
Right. So
Rachel's
the part that kind of scares me a little bit is he's like, we're gonna be changing the story a little. So that's fine if you're like, we're changing the story as to how they get their powers. I don't care about how they get their powers.
Sure.
Right. But if you're like, we're changing the story to that they're all people from different universes who are related in one way or another, and they all get thrown together. I don't know. Do we have to really mess with it that much? And then he said, it's unlike anything we've ever seen.
Yeah. So what?
It's unlike anything we've ever seen at Marvel.
I've never seen this before.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say
we've
it's
seen
going to be similar to everything we've seen. And the other thing, the last people who changed up the Fantastic Four story, that movie bombed.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
really did. Now, when he says he can't say anything else, he really wishes he could. I'm going to be honest. You better say more
You need to
stuff.
start saying something.
You need
well,
to-
he
you
says
better
he
start
also
saying
says
something,
later,
'cause-
I believe he says that they're not released. They weren't saying anything, mostly because of the writer's strike and stuff. So they
Okay.
haven't put out anything. So hopefully we'll be getting more information on this. Now, to be clear, Marvel's not putting out anything recently that I'm super interested in. I just thought his line that it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen was super intriguing.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched this recently? Like the first one?
Yeah.
No, not
like
recently.
the past year, I've watched it.
It's fun.
It's
It's-
a fun movie.
it's fun.
Got, Chris in it.
Chris Evans,
Chris Rock. Yeah.
Michael Chiklis, Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Jessica
hit
Alba's
him.
so freaking pretty.
What this is every time I bring up this movie, this is all I hear. This is all I
I
hear.
told you.
She was like perfect casting for that character.
Dude, look at all right, these poses are too much. They went too hard on her poses.
Okay, you said you didn't want to objectify her this week, but you're the one who started
I'm
it.
sorry, I look at this photo, I see hands,
It
and
looks
then I
like-
see Jessica Alba.
it looks
and I'm
like
like this
a
is
comic book.
distracting.
Why?
It looks like a comic book. It's and it was cool. But
this was right
I
around
think
when they were doing Spider-Man, though. So like,
Yes.
I enjoy it because this is that.
Her
era
hand is
of,
on
like,
fire.
Mhm.
We had Tobey Maguire. We had Jessica Alba being her, and then we also had Tobey Maguire being like,
Yeah. Well, I
yeah.
think this was maybe a little bit before the third Spider-Man.
yeah,
was.
but it's kind of around the same time.
What was those early
no.
days Marvel that branches off that nothing was in universe? So we had Spider-Man, we had
Spider-Man
Blade,
was Sony. This was
We
Sony, I
had
think, too.
Ghost
So
Rider.
Fox.
Ghost Rider, and then the Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
What else was coming out that was not technically a part of in universe? We're just doing one-off superhero stories from Marvel.
We had like Daredevil and
Yeah, Daredevil as well.
Daredevil, Blade.
Ben
Well, Blade
Affleck.
was a little bit earlier, but
yeah, but
that
it
was
was
in the 90s. Wait,
though
was it
that
90s or
seemed
80s?
look
90s.
when they first did the first up to the first Avengers movie, I felt like they were hitting gold, and in some ways financially they were hitting gold for nearly a decade. But I just feel like it fell apart, and now I'm looking back at these movies and saying, well, these are actually better. It's
These are
almost
actually
smarter.
really fun. Yeah.
It's more smart to just do really good one-offs where it's not in universe with each other, where you don't have to build on something. And also Jon Favreau was those early days Marvel who was really piecing things together well until they just got a whole bunch of other people involved and it fell apart.
And you know what? The Marvel movies before Endgame, where they were kind of their own movies, right? Where they weren't really involving other Marvel characters, and it was a meme where people were like, "Well, where's Iron Man and Hulk when Thor is in London fighting the Dark Elves? You know, where's the Avengers?" But after Endgame, they started mixing and crossing over characters a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of them having their own individual stories.
Right.
It almost felt comic booky. It almost felt like,
right.
Here's Iron Man doing an Iron Man story.
Well,
here's Captain America doing a Captain America story. And then, towards Endgame, they started crossing over stuff because that was the big,
it started with Civil War. It started with Civil War. Right?
But Civil War was so close to Endgame that we needed to they needed to start setting up stuff
to be with each other.
To be with each other.
But then after that, look, after Endgame, it just became like, we're going to call this Doctor Strange, but it's really about freaking Wanda. Or we're going to call this, I don't know, Ant-Man, but it's really about Kang or whatever the crap that was,
I feel like when it was Avengers and they were together, it was, it was cool. But then in their own movies, they had it was like their own little individual comic books, stories.
Imagine if they did a Iron Man movie today, and they called it Iron Man. They had Robert Downey Jr. in there, but then they did what they're doing now, where they demasculate the legacy characters and make it about a woman character, like maybe, I don't know, taking Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, putting him in the movie, but making him unimportant and making it about the girl who's like Miss Marvel. You know what I mean? Like
it would be the girl from the second Black Panther movie who built her own Iron Man suit.
Yeah, it would be about her, but it's in an Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's called Iron Man, but she's Iron Man. It's like
that's what they would do today.
It's like the Mandalorian, but it's not about our Mandalorian. It's about Bo-Katan.
Thank goodness Robert Downey Jr. I don't know if it was all his decision, but he put his foot down and said, "I'm not doing any more Iron Man." So they had to write his character's death. Thank goodness that he's not still in the franchise in this abomination period,
Yeah.
Because Thor is, and they've ruined Thor, right?
Yeah. They've ruined, so I guess my question really is, do you guys really think that this is going to be anything new or interesting coming from Matt Shakman?
Something that we haven't seen before. I doubt that I'm with you. I don't think we have seen it before. And honestly, we don't care if we've seen it before. We just want it to be the stuff that's good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's probably not going to be great, but I will accept it on one condition, that they somehow tie Miles Teller in there because, he's one of our greatest actors of all time, and I'm an apologist for him.
You're an apologist for this?
Yeah.
So I would like to remind you guys just real quickly. Matt Shakman directed he directed 9 episodes of WandaVision.
Okay.
He's directed individual episodes of a ton of different shows like Game of Thrones, The Boys, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just a lot of stuff like that.
Is the episodes he directed of WandaVision, Is it the early stuff, like the
All
first
9.
episodes?
It's all 9.
All 9?
Yeah.
I didn't like the last couple episodes, but
So, and then if you guys remember, we talked about this a while back. He was working on Star Trek 4.
mhm.
And he left that project to do Fantastic Four.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
Honestly, I haven't seen I've never seen him do a movie.
Really?
We've never seen him do a movie.
He could do it.
Has he done any movies on his IMDb?
No.
He's never done a
it's all
movie?
shows. His only directing credits are shows. Episodes. One episode here, one episode there.
He's going to be thinking like he's doing a series.
So
which is
why
a
would you
little
give
less
him
fantastic? No
why
pun
would you give
intended.
him Star Trek? I could see giving him
we need to give it
Fantastic
back to JJ.
Four.
Give it back to JJ.
No.
I mean at least JJ was trying.
JJ was doing some stuff with it. I'm gonna go up to Atlanta and just hold up signs, give Star Trek back to JJ.
Okay,
and
let's ask you this. Look, let's be honest. JJ's Star Trek was extremely questy, as everything JJ does.
Yeah.
And he made Star Wars questy. Star Wars is not supposed to be questy.
True.
Star Wars is not supposed to have quests. It's not supposed to feel like a I don't know, National Treasure 3, which is what the final Star Wars was.
I agree with what you're saying. I also I don't know though.
J.J. Abrams is not as skilled of a
70% of
storyteller.
everything J.J. Abrams does. I like most of his stuff. I don't like everything. I like most of his stuff to where I'll accept him doing another Star Trek.
J.J. Abrams knows how to capitalize on nostalgia, but if you screw the story up in the process, then it just is left for naught.
Abrams isn't a bad director, but I don't think he's a good director either. I think he's
That's the stupidest statement I've ever heard.
Yeah, you think J.J. Abrams is as good as Christopher Nolan? You think he's as good as Christopher Nolan? Yeah, he's not bad. He's absolutely middle of the road. He's not like amazing.
No, he's not middle of the road.
I'm not praising any of his.
Here's the line.
Films,
here's JJ, and then like Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg are up here.
No, I think the middle
JJ.
of the road line is defined by J.J. Abrams.
No. He's
just
slightly above
decent
average
across the board. He's definitely not above average.
No,
well,
not
I know
above
he's
average.
short, and he's not above average with his height. It's well known that Abrams is kind of short, but
look,
I mean,
as I said, this is I believe the correct take. J.J. Abrams knows how to capitalize on nostalgic moments. So when you see the Millennium Falcon flying through the air, it feels cool. But the characters that are flying the Falcon suck. The story for the characters suck. When there's a
I'm not gonna put that entirely on Abrams, because we've seen the trend of how they just are writing terrible characters in the Star Wars movies. Whereas if you go to the first Star Trek movie, all the characters are awesome. They're all fun. They're all interesting. And it's just a fun movie to watch, and it's very enjoyable. Whereas the characters in Star Wars feel consistent across the board of just being written terribly. So I don't know that that's Abrams' fault. I think that's the Disney Star Wars writers.
You think?
Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, that seems like a good story.
That seems like a great story. Now, he did do Super 8 alongside produce.
Yeah.
Like he directed Super 8, but it was produced by Steven Spielberg, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's correct.
And the writing, again, the writing for the characters is, good. I feel like he knows how to make a movie. It's just, you got to get that good writing.
He definitely doesn't know how to write characters. I really don't
And
think.
and
I
like I
don't think
said,
he knows how to do anything
I don't know that
outside of
I don't know that
quests.
he wrote those characters.
Probably not. I honestly don't think he knows how to do a story outside of questy stuff. And the same with Dave Filoni. Everything he's done is questy.
Questy.
And I just when did Star Wars become quests? It was never quests.
I think it became I think the stuff that we're seeing is the way that it is because the guys who and ladies who are directing it will roll over to whatever the executive people say. That's
Well,
the trend
maybe
I'm seeing is with Abrams, with Filoni, we might see it with Matt Shackman, as all of these directors are just like, all right, Marvel, you want all of whatever you want in your movie, or Star Wars, you want whatever you want. We'll film it and direct it, and you guys put in whatever else.
maybe okay. I kind of I don't know if we need to move on because it just feels
Yeah, we
like
can
we're
move
just
on.
going at this point. But I think maybe we should look at it and say, with the strikes that just happened, maybe that's going to put some kind of thing in the back of these executives' mind of saying, the people who are working on this stuff aren't going to roll over anymore for bad writing, for bad this, for bad that. So maybe we should just let them do and create good stuff. And maybe that will change the culture of what we see in movies and entertainment that's coming out. Maybe it won't, but that's just what I think maybe.
I hope it puts the pressure on.
Right.
Yeah.
To write good stuff, because if you go through this whole strike about the AI stuff and you're not working and you're not making enough money, there's too many, you're working on too much stuff and not getting any time or money, then the writer's strike happens. You kind of get what you want. Hopefully that puts the pressure on them to be like, all right, well, now you have to write good stuff.
Yeah.
It won't. Freaking Hollywood has to collapse before it gets better, and this strike didn't make it collapse, or at least it's not yet. Maybe the big delay will be the collapse. But as of right now, they're releasing stuff and they're making money in theaters, and Greta Gerwig is working for Netflix on Narnia. So until
I don't know,
it collapses,
maybe we should start studying empires that have fallen, like fallen empires.
like the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
I think about that pretty often, actually.
Relatively.
I
think we concluded that if you're a Christian and you think about the time Jesus lived in, that was all Roman Empire.
We think about Rome.
If you think about Jesus,
the Roman Empire is on our minds more than most people.
If you're a Christian and you're thinking about Jesus and his life, then you think about the Roman Empire.
Our symbol is a Roman torture device. It's a Roman execution device.
When you say our symbol,
the Christians.
The cross. The
cross is a
Roman.
Right. Is a Roman torture and execution device.
That's true. You wear a cross necklace?
It's like if he had been executed by like a guillotine, we'd all be wearing like guillotine necklaces and guillotine on the Bible.
Well,
or if he got hanging,
it would be a rope,
little noose rope.
Well, while you're thinking about someone getting put on a cross, I guess we could thank the patrons.
Right. We can do that. Thank you.
Thank you,
Close
Karina.
to godliness? Is that what you're trying to refer to?
No,
he wasn't. There wasn't anything deeper to it.
All right.
No, thank you, Karina, for being a Patreon supporter. You get the podcast. Actually, yes, we have the podcast on there a week early. We have exclusive content. We have.
Joshua interrupts himself to say, actually.
Well, I was going to say she doesn't specifically get the Patreon, the podcast early because she's not offered with that tier. But I mean, I'm downplaying the Patreon.
Look, don't explain the situation.
That's what I was thinking.
You get the podcast early. You get an exclusive episode.
That's why you went. Actually,
it's super cool. Karina gets a shout out,
going,
and her name in the credits.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
And you can too by going to the link in the description and selecting the tier on Patreon that best fits your content needs. Also, this is how you support us. This is how we continue doing what we do. It's not just for the perks. It's because you saying, I want to keep seeing them create content because I tune in. I like it. I have fun. We have a voice that is for
Yes.
you. Like we
Yeah.
give voice to how you feel in the entertainment world. So that's why you support us. And that's why you should. Links in the description. Thank you for joining.
I definitely butchered that.
Well, you interrupted yourself to say.
I interrupted,
wait.
but I continued, and then you had to circle back to it.
Mm.
Well, you started getting into like what tier Karina has, and you started
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah,
"Does
I don't know
Does
why
she
I
get
thought that.
the?"
I
You're
said
trying to be
podcast,
specific,
She didn't get
but
the podcast.
Karina's made her choice on what tier she wants.
Mm.
She look. You don't have to. You don't have to explain.
I don't really have a transition here for
That's
the next
fine.
thing or any. Do you guys have anything that you want to mention before we get
Yeah.
into the next
So
topic?
what's that side, Joshua? What's the freaking side?
Well, no,
He's
I was
waiting
about
for
to- I
you
was
to.
about to say,
He's
have
waiting
you
for you to
guys,
start talking about like some negative
you guys-
something. or
No,
another.
it's not
No, I was
negative.
No, it
I was
wasn't.
gonna
No,
say-
it wasn't gonna side by Joseph. I was gonna bring up a different topic, but go for it.
Go for it. Do it at the same time.
Oh,
Just
like a 3, 2, 1
simultaneously.
situation.
Yeah, just both of you guys just start talking about your
Freaking-
topic.
Let me say this. There is something that is really happy when you get back into the old, not even old, just a decade old cop shows. And I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about NCIS, the first one with Gibbs,
Yeah.
with
Okay.
Ziva.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Well, no,
Psych,
Ziva wasn't
obviously.
in the first one. If you
Mhm.
want to be specific, she wasn't. It was
Shut up.
Kate.
I'm not
but-
talking about the spin-offs. I'm not
Talking
talking
No,
about.
about
Kate was in the original. It was
Oh
Kate,
my
and then it was Ziva.
gosh. We
But-
understand. I'm talking about NCIS. I'm not talking about NCIS Los Angeles or
No,
NCIS
Kate
Alaska
was
or whatever the
before
crap
Ziva.
they did.
In the original
we
show.
know.
Yeah, we're talking about the early seasons.
I'm
Well, he
talking
said
about
the first season, but
You
I'm
know, the guy who
talking about-
played Ducky just passed away.
yeah,
That's sad.
Yeah. No, you're right. The early cop shows, Law and Order.
Yeah. Freaking The
people-
Mentalist. I'm on The Mentalist
Mentalist,
kick
yeah.
right now.
okay.
And I can't get enough. I know I've seen The Mentalist through twice.
Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
on it a third time.
Yeah,
And I
early
can't get
cop
enough.
shows.
I'm
Early cop
just
shows.
watching.
They would
It's a
take a
good time.
concept. They would take a concept and be like, "This could be a cop thing,"
Mm-hmm.
which was
and it's
fun.
Or on
It's
The
fun.
Mentalist, they could just be like, all the cops are gonna every single episode. We think it's this person. It's obviously this person, and then Jane creates a fake scenario
Yeah,
where he
Mhm.
reveals who the actual person is, and he had his suspicions this whole time, and he's like, "I'm gonna." They're like, "Do you want to go? We need to go question the person who probably did this murder," and he's like, "Or you could come with me, and we can catch the real killer." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love it. It's so much, and it's every single episode this happens. I'm not surprised whenever it happens, and I love every time it does happen.
Mhm.
Why is it? What about those old cop shows just got us to tune in? And the writing at times is very cheesy.
Because they were fun. Yeah, that's why. Because they were fun. They could be cheesy at times. I don't know. Even if the mystery was not really a mystery and you could kind of figure it out, it was about the interactions between the characters.
yeah.
If you use Psych as an example, we
been watching
knew
it.
the formula. The
Mhm.
formula was somebody died. They investigate some people. The first guy that they think it is ends up dying,
Mm-hmm.
and then we wrap back around to the actual killer.
Right.
Yeah, and we talk about Pluto a little bit and make some.
But it was
Sean White and Gus Black.
Yeah, it was
jokes.
the interactions between Sean, Gus, Lassiter, Jules, the dad, the chief. It was all of their interactions with each other, and then with, like, regular people.
Right.
Because they inside their group, and a lot of shows do this. It was inside their group, they're all kind of a little wacky with each other.
Yes.
And then when you interact with people outside of your group, they're the straight man in the situation.
Yeah,
In a comedy bit, your main player, you've got somebody who's playing the wacky character and somebody who's playing the straight man. And the straight man's just like a normal person. And it's funny. It's funny to throw comedy off of a normal person.
Yes. Okay. I think what you just said almost describes the format that keeps us hooked. It's okay. So imagine this. Let's use Psych as the example, or let's use The Mentalist as the example, because we kind of already used Psych as this example.
Yeah.
So you got the group of cops who all know Jane is the wild card, and then they enter a situation with normal people. They enter a situation with people that don't know that Jane is a wild card, or he's wacky, or he's going to come to the conclusion in a way that's, unorthodox and no one expects it.
Yeah.
Or they don't know his skills. And the thing is, as an audience member, we're in the group. We're in that bubble, and we get to see the reactions of outside people experiencing the group bubble. Every single episode. You get new people, and we're all like, how are they going to react? How is he going to are they going to stumble and Jane's going to catch him because he's too smart for him? They don't expect it.
And they did it with Bones, and they did it with
Psych, obviously.
Liar. What was it? Liar? Did you guys see that show with Tim Roth?
Yes.
He can tell when somebody's lying.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it did.
He did it, and then there
in
was
NCIS, you didn't like the wild cards were obviously Ziva, big one, and then Gibbs was the real big one, because you didn't expect Gibbs' loyalty and scrappiness, and you didn't expect that Ziva's a freaking ninja. You know what I mean?
And then like Donoso being like the movie guy, just throwing in the references, pop culture references that make you laugh, and it's like, I get that reference.
Did you guys ever watch? There was only one season, but The Finder.
I don't think I've heard of that.
No,
it was kind of like Psych, where he just had this ability to find anything. It was like he could find. There was some way his mind worked where he could find anything or anyone, and so he was like a consultant for the police. And I think his girlfriend was a police officer, but it had Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay.
Was it like his best friend? And it was awesome. It was in like the Florida Everglades.
Okay, that's cool.
It was a really fun show. It was very much like Psych. And then obviously Michael Clark Duncan passed away. And I think that's why partially why they didn't continue the show.
Right.
They just couldn't get it back going again. But yeah, it was another one of those fun
and
cop shows.
It brings people back, even if it's a repeated format, because like I said, you're in the circle. Like you got the knowledge, you know the characters, you know how they're going to approach situations, and you get to experience these characters that are outside of the bubble every single episode interact with this group that you've come to know so well.
The more I think about it, the more and more of these shows I keep thinking of.
There's
just so many shows. There's like
Criminal Minds. No one
Numbers?
Expected that the dude who's going to solve everything is also a psychopath. You know what I mean?
There's so many of these of these cop shows where it's a similar. There's so many. I keep thinking of more and more.
Yeah. But all that to say is, look, if you have been struggling to find enjoyment out of your show or series entertainment, if you're finding yourselves watching stuff that's really well done but kind of depressing, like Sopranos or Breaking Bad, and you're like, I just need something that's going to make me feel okay and give me enjoyment at the end of a hard day, freaking find your cop show. Go back and rewatch. Watch NCIS. For me, it's Psych, NCIS, or The Mentalist. If I need something happy, I'm going to go to one of those three.
Just really quick. If you guys, there's Murdoch Mysteries, The Wire, Psych, Dexter, Mentalist,
Dexter's
Rookies,
crazy.
Reno 911, Bones, Burn Notice, Criminal Minds, CSI, NCIS, The Shield, Spiral, Lie to Me, Traffic Cops, Monk.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, Castle.
Castle's okay.
Bones, Numbers, CSI Miami, Dark
Yuck.
Blue,
I didn't like any of the
Cold
CSI or
Case,
NCIS spinoffs.
Life. And guys, this is just cop shows.
Yeah.
There's also lawyer shows.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a whole other thing, though.
Oh, what was the?
But it's a similar format. It's the group and everyone, and you
White
get to know the
Collar.
group.
White Collar's a really good one.
Yeah. Just
so
look,
many shows.
All that I'm just trying to say, I'm experiencing. If you need just the guilty pleasure or the things that just makes you happy to view, and like you can check your phone and not feel like you're missing anything. You know what I mean? If you just need the good stuff, if you just need that back in your life, and you're watching a show that doesn't depress you or is too deep, and you're like just it drains you to watch, go to your cop shows. You know,
it was funny.
fun.
We would go to my grandmother's, and she would always have like NCIS on,
Mhm.
and it was just playing, and we would talk and hang out and do whatever with NCIS playing in the background. And sometimes we would all just start paying attention to NCIS.
Exactly, because something
There's
cool
so
happened.
many seasons
Something cool is
too
going
of
on,
NCIS. That it
Or
just- everybody
DeNozo tells
knows.
there's a really funny moment between
Mhm.
DeNozo and what's the other character's name?
Gibbs?
Yeah,
the
you're
other
talking
kid.
about the other detective guy,
Proby.
Rookie.
No.
Yeah, the Proby.
Mix something.
Yeah, McGee.
McGee.
Yeah, just something fun happens between them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's all I had. What's the next topic, bro?
So you're gonna see sort of a theme in this podcast. It's kind of directors talking about stuff.
Okay.
Oh, those directors.
So this next one, a little bit of Napoleon action.
All right.
I saw another article where the director Ridley Scott is talking about Napoleon, and they asked him, of the 66 battles,
right,
what's going to be in the movie? And if you scroll down, I think it gives a list.
Well, here's a quote, right?
Well, yeah, he does talk about this. So, real quick before we get to the battles, yeah, this says every scene is geometry. By having 11 to 14 cameras,
nice.
We shot Napoleon in 62 days.
Wow, that's 2 months.
I'm doing Gladiator 2 now in 54 days. Because
What?
I'm not doing 50 takes with one camera on one shot and then turning it around. This normal fight scene could take anything up to a month. I'll take 6 days. So the savings are colossal. So what he's saying is they are doing as many long takes of one scene as possible. So they're getting multiple
call that
cameras.
Spielberg oneers.
Well, he's got many cameras.
They're not doing oneers. They're doing one take.
Well, that the actors are treating them almost as oneers because they're going through the whole thing.
They're
nonstop.
doing the entire thing in one take for the actors with multiple cameras. So we will get multiple angles.
11 to 14, in fact.
Dude, 62 days.
That's a little over 2 months.
And from what I'm hearing about these fight scenes. Incredible. Okay, so here's where it says which ones he's doing. So go back up, right there. Okay. So it says he's doing the battles at Toulon, Marengo, Austerlitz, Jena, Austed, Friedland, Borodino, Leipzig, Waterloo, and Trafalgar. So Trafalgar is a water battle. That's ships.
Yeah. 3, 4, with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 battles.
Wow.
Nelson, the Colonel Nelson.
No. Have they
Admiral Nelson?
Wow. Have they released the runtime of this movie yet? Or maybe they're not finished.
It's going to be like 3 hours, but Ridley Scott will be releasing a 4-hour director's cut.
Yes, that's what I like to hear.
Yes. Now, I just last night watched his 3.5-hour director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven. So dude, these are big battles. Waterloo is a huge battle.
I love that they're doing something that he's basically saying, and this is like an old style way of filmmaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the modern day of filmmaking is just put it on a green screen, or let's just do 50 takes until we get it right. Let's just do reshoots. Freaking, that's so tired. These great directors, these great old time directors are like filming on film that they don't have money for, but they're using it because they are scrappy, broke artists, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, look, I'm putting all of my faith into this actor. I want you to give me everything. I want you to give me
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you believe this character's feeling. And they're expecting talented actors like freaking Joaquin Phoenix to deliver what they believe to be the right
Yeah.
thing. And they're going to trust them because they're
And
not
and
afraid. They're bold.
he was doing this with Kingdom of Heaven too. I mean, Orlando Bloom gives an incredible performance. Jeremy Irons in that movie, just fantastic all
Right.
throughout.
Freaking, I
And there's
feel like,
tons and tons of great performances.
I mean, who's
Yeah.
Greg Fraser. Greg Fraser's making moves that are new and dangerous, but he's not
Mm.
that old. But when you look at directors, who are the ones that are really taking big swings and creating stuff that's just captivating the audiences? You know what I mean? Who's the ones
Today?
that are today, you know?
Mhm.
It's
I
all
feel
the
like,
old directors. I mean,
well, I don't
who
know
are
if
the new
Baz
directors that are
Luhrmann
really
did that with
standing out?
Elvis.
Yeah, but and
Baz
Baz
Luhrmann's
Luhrmann's old.
yeah, he's doing his thing, and I think eventually, as time goes on, he'll start doing more of these, taking big risks and doing big movies.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing that they're going to be doing like what do you say, 6 battles of the
Yeah.
66, the
No,
biggest
9.
9.
That
The
list is
like
9 battles.
the most important battles. I know they're also going into Moscow, going into Russia.
Mm.
Um, which is the reason Napoleon was defeated. Spoilers. And then there's also the political intrigue with his wife is a big part
Yes.
of this as well.
Man, this is gonna be this is gonna be a hard movie to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's gonna happen? They're not gonna be able to get best film at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're
Yeah.
gonna
I don't
be,
think so.
I mean, unless they got like a really diverse crew behind the scenes,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be able to get best picture at the Oscars because they're not
And
gonna.
man, I just these kind of big historical movies are super interesting to me. I love, if we're going with a historical movie, give me that 4-hour director's cut.
Please.
Yes. Yes.
I'm telling you, I do think, Josh, you need to sit down and watch it. That Kingdom of Heaven, that
I do. I just last night was
oh
not my
man,
thing.
the music, the fight scenes, the interactions, everything is, and I expect it from this.
Wait, why are you challenging me to watch it? Joseph, go
Oh
watch
yeah,
Kingdom of
Joe,
Heaven.
yeah, absolutely,
I'll
go
probably
watch it.
watch it.
I'll
You
probably watch
don't have to watch the director's cut, but it is the definitive version.
Right.
They cut a lot of really important stuff out of the original.
I feel like if there's a solid director's cut, I only watch that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Or if there's like Megan had a unrated version.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you gonna watch the rated version? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are you gonna do that when the directors released a version that says this is more of what I want it to be? Why would you do
Mhm.
that? You know?
Yeah, I am, and that's actually part of what we're going to be talking about in the next section.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Is
Um,
this a game segment? Didn't you
no,
say it was something about a
there
game?
is one. There is a game segment at the end.
Oh, so
Um,
you got us 4 segments this
yeah.
podcast.
So
You were stepping up your game.
Dang. Look at these
yeah,
sets, bro.
I'm
My
also
Yeah.
goodness.
so the sets, the battle scenes, the performances. This movie is gearing up to be an incredible historic epic.
Oh yeah.
And it's so weird.
Man.
It was, I know me and Joshua disagree, but this was just in the background. No one was talking about it until very recently.
And really quick, I am going to do an IMDb. for Ridley Scott, just so that we can look at some of his more recent movies.
Right.
I think because he's had a lot that are hit or miss.
Okay.
And where's his director credits? Oh gosh, he's up for a ton of stuff directing.
Good.
The Last Duel, I think, was a little bit long for people, but it was well made. The Alien movies have been disappointing. His last really good one, I think, was The Martian.
Yeah.
The Martian was incredible. He did Exodus: Gods and Kings.
I didn't care for that one at all. Now, hold on. The battles and the concepts were awesome. Like the visual concepts of that movie really, and the battles, obviously, of that time period and really capturing the look of that time period right on the money. It was really good. The problem with the movie is just that they really become blasphemous with what the Bible describes of the account. Like that movie made the physical representation of God communicating with Moses as a little child, you know what I mean? That just followed him around. That's kind of blasphemous because that's not in scripture at all.
No.
And it's not even a very clever or respectful artistic approach to this.
Prince of Egypt. Prince of Egypt did it better.
They did it better. They actually told the story that the Bible describes with adding stuff to the characters that doesn't contradict scripture, which is like what we say about The Chosen. You add stuff to the story, it doesn't contradict scripture, which Exodus just contradicts it, and it's not.
So yeah, I would say The Martian is his last really good one.
The Martian.
People weren't on top of The Last Duel as much.
No,
but the Martian was really solid. And then everything I've seen from his like Alien.
Hold on. Did he produce House of Gucci?
I don't know. I didn't watch House of Gucci.
It's a trash movie. It's a trash movie, House of Gucci is.
Joseph's just like, the House of Gucci.
Look, I didn't mind one of the Alien movies. I didn't mind, but I know it's not as good as the first one. He directed House of Gucci. Big flop. Dang. Big flop for Ridley Scott there.
What was House of Gucci?
A dumb movie with Lady Gaga and Adam Driver and Jared Leto and just stupid.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's about it. I'm super excited for Napoleon. I really am. It's been a minute since we've had a nice big historic epic.
Yeah.
I really love movies like Master and Commander.
Master and Commander is good.
Yeah, like Dances with Wolves and these. I like these long historic movies, man. And yeah, give me I love Gladiator. I'm a little hesitant with the second Gladiator movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you think it's going to kind of be like the second 300 movie, where it's completely different characters?
I'm hoping not.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it being different characters and referencing the older characters, but I'm worried that it's just going to be kind of like that and it's going to fall flat. I'm worried. Scott has a history of taking the older concepts like Alien, and putting his spin on it. So Prometheus, nobody liked, and Alien Covenant, nobody liked.
They don't like the Ridley spin.
No. And so
original.
Yeah. And that's why, like with Blade Runner 2047, people liked it because it wasn't, because I don't think Ridley Scott, he didn't direct it. It was Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah. Denis Villeneuve did it.
So yeah, I don't know. Anytime he takes some of his old stuff and works on it again, it's not as good.
Right. It's going to be fun, but let's roll into the last segment because I've been anticipating what is.
And then we've got a little game.
Oh, we got a game and another segment.
Yes. Yeah.
Fun.
So like I said, this episode is kind of about directors.
Cool.
This next one
You're going to
is
Steven, right? Oh,
no, Zack Schneider.
Nice.
So
Aw,
this
man.
one specifically, I wanted to talk about because I want to get you guys' opinion on. We're getting 2 movies. There's a part 1 and part 2.
And they're months apart.
They announced that up front, which
Yep.
is what you need to do with your part 1, part 2 movies.
Yes.
Announce
Okay.
it up front. We know that this is like a Seven Samurai type of movie, right? Or the Magnificent Seven for those of you who haven't seen the original movie.
Okay.
Of these characters come together to kind of protect a planet or a town or something from an empire.
It's a planet. It's a planet that the empire is coming to take over and slaverize or whatever that word is.
So we're getting a part 1 and a part 2.
Yep.
But it is Zack Schneider, so we are also getting these are going to be PG-13. We're also going to get a rated R director's cut version.
All right, that's
for
what I'm watching.
both of these movies.
That's
So
what I'm
they are
watching.
releasing 4 movies.
They're releasing essentially a PG-13 theatrical cut, even though this is not going to be in the theaters.
Yeah.
It's going to be on Netflix.
No thanks.
For part 1 and part 2. Everyone's not going to watch those, and we're going to watch the Snyder cut, essentially.
Yeah.
And for both of these parts.
Are they coming out at the same time, or are they coming out after?
No. The rated R version is going to come out afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know if after both of them are released. But essentially, I don't think so. I think it's going to be, you're going to get the first movie and then you're going to get the rated R cut.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so it essentially means we're getting 4 movies.
Right.
Oh.
Now, since we've announced it up front, we've announced 2 movies and then we've also announced rated R director's cut. Not like the Superman movies, not like the Justice League, where it was like, let's do a director's cut after the fact.
Okay.
They're announcing upfront that we are planning this. What do you guys think of that? A lot of these directors are planning for their director's cut before the movie even comes out.
I'm fine with it.
I think people are realizing, and I don't know when it started, if it started with like Lord of the Rings, but I think people are realizing now that the diehard fans are going to watch that, that director's cut, that extended version, the hardcore fans. And that's what they're like, we're going to do the studio thing. They can do what they want. But then with our cut, we're going to do what we want. And we're going to get a little bit more leeway to throw something in there. And the diehard fans are really into that.
This is this is not as much a studio thing, because this is not being run for theaters. This is being run on Netflix. So what I think is they don't have to do a theatrical cut. They don't have to. I think what they're trying to do here is they're saying, look, the extended director's cut's going to have the staying power for the nerd
audience.
culture, the audience that loves it. But you want that initial popularity pop at the beginning, like we saw with Pirates of the Caribbean, with those PG-13 movies that the whole family watches,
And essentially, by releasing one movie and then a director's cut, they are adding more watch time to these movies for more people. So you're getting that initial wave of people, and even if it's not as strong as you want it to be, when that director's cut comes out, I think you're going to get another big wave because people who hadn't heard of it are going to hear about it.
Right.
So they're keeping eyes on the show, keeping people on Netflix, and making as much money as possible. And then they're doing it again a couple months later.
I kind of wonder if Zack Schneider is trying to just... It's almost like with the moves that he's made, it almost seems like he's playing chess at times. with the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
Well,
know there's the
they
whole
kind of screwed him over pretty hard last time.
yeah, but between what DC has done with him
Mm-hmm.
and then what Disney did with him with Star Wars, and also that amidst all that, he did have a really terrible family
Mm-hmm.
tragedy, but he's
Yeah.
had these huge successes like 300 in his past. He
Mm-hmm.
plays chess. He releases the Snyder Cut for the Justice League. It's not a great movie, but it's better than the one they did release.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him dropping this epic, basically Star Wars inspired film or two part movie series on Netflix, which is not a theatrical company.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing chess with the industry, and he's almost creating himself. He's almost making himself a legend, whether his movies are incredible or not. Like Chris Nolan is a legend because he makes incredible films.
Mm-hmm.
Zack Snyder is kind of a legend because the hype around what he's doing, not necessarily like his movies are the best movies we've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very interesting take. And yeah, I think with this 2-part, back-to-back months apart, not years apart,
Yeah.
but months apart, and then the extended versions without any
Mhm.
theatrical release rules, they're just doing it to do it. I think it's interesting, and it's almost adding to the lore of Zack Snyder.
I think it'll be good as long as he doesn't make it zoomed in. I think that's dumb. If he does another
Yeah,
zoomed in
I
thing, I'm
really
gonna be
don't
like,
want to see that aspect ratio. Now,
I know it was
I
creative,
know
but
I know they said that was part of his creative vision.
It's a stupid vision.
I think that's probably maybe a little bit of a lie. I want to say that maybe they wouldn't release the footage to him. But I don't know. And
No.
when they finally did release the footage, they released it in like that weird format.
You think it's a conspiracy?
I think it's a conspiracy. Yeah. Yeah.
You think
No,
they
I-
sent him a 4:3 aspect ratio video of all the footage? Be like, fine, edit this together. And he's like, I will.
and he's like,
I will.
hold my drink. I'll do it, son.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it was look, I don't agree with everything Zack Snyder's does, and I don't think all of his movies are incredible. I think some of them are really dumb. But and I think that choice was a stupid creative choice that he
it was a
made.
terrible choice.
It was a dumb creative choice, but it was still a choice he decided to do.
Yeah.
But man,
Or
I am looking
or it
forward
was
to
maybe
Rebel
just a
Moon.
middle finger to the studio because they were like, you're not allowed to have any creative control. And then when he finally got to release that, he's like, I'm
turning this into 4:3 aspect
Yeah.
ratio.
and people are gonna like it. My fans are gonna like it.
The only time we see this aspect ratio is a percentage of a Wes Anderson film. You know what I mean? And that's
so dumb, though. I would accept it more if he came out and said, "Hey, the studio wouldn't allow me, so I did it as a diss to the studio or something like that." If he came out and said that, I'd be like, "Okay, I accept it more
I accept
than
it.
you."
Then this is
be saying
his way of
creative
wanting.
because-
The point of it was basically he wanted, when you see that aspect ratio, he wanted people to know, oh, this is the Zack Snyder cut. This is his version, not the original. So he was trying to identify it for people by giving it black wings. I
Yeah.
thought it was dumb. We didn't
Mhm.
need that. I'd rather have small text in the top corner that said Zack Snyder's cut, a watermark. I'd rather have that than black wings, but it's what he gave us.
Yeah, that's all I had. I just kind of wanted to hear what you guys thought about it. It is an interesting choice to be doing with movies because we know we're getting an extended edition from Ridley Scott, and now we know we're getting a director's cut from Zach.
What did this article say that was titled "Makes so much more sense after the latest news"? What was the sense that this article made? Was it because he's trying to point at a director's cut release?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. because I was confused since we didn't read the article, or I haven't read the article.
Yeah, it's just doing the same thing. It's talking about what I was saying, the theatrical release
Right.
and everything.
These characters look really cool.
They look fun.
It looks
They look
really
fun.
really awesome.
I've always
Except
said
the Wendigo. Who's the Wendigo over there?
I don't know. It's a robot, I think.
Zack Snyder likes these like horn type things.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I like the if you're gonna make, like character based looks,
Mm-hmm.
just really go hard on making them stylistic.
Yeah.
It's something I've always appreciated. We've said in the past about Tom Hardy. Anytime he does a character, he does a character.
Right.
And whether the accent is bad or not, he's
committed.
He's committed.
I'm
100%.
looking forward to that movie he's gonna be in. He's gonna
Bike riders.
Yeah.
The bike riders.
I think people are excited for that.
There's a lot of people that are secretly just.
I saw
really
the trailer in the theater when we went to watch The Creator.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. I liked it.
I think I also saw some photos of Austin Butler gonna be in a war movie. I don't know.
Man,
Yeah,
Austin
I
Butler's
did
going
see
to
that.
really be popping off this next couple years. He's hitting his Zendaya phase.
So before we leave, I have a quick segment.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 3 different pictures. But I want to see if you guys can guess the actor behind the mask.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, like I said, I was watching Kingdom of Heaven, and there's
are all these movies I've seen?
I don't know.
All right.
But I would like you to pull up. There's a video with the audio so that you guys can hear the voices of these characters.
Okay. Now, is this the Kingdom of Heaven one that you sent me?
The first one is Kingdom of Heaven.
Okay.
So pull up the picture.
I'm terrible at names, so we're both terrible at names.
Hold on, I need to get through this ad really quickly. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm playing it, and then I'll share the screen, and then I'll go away from it. So we're only showing audio here. We can't show what's on the video, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does it matter if me and Joshua see it?
No.
Okay. All right.
Those 2 videos don't show the name of the actor, I don't believe.
Now I can't show it both at the same time. So we look at the picture and then we hear the audio.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
First, all right.
Is it so? It's a woman.
It's the king. This is in Kingdom of Heaven. He is the king of Jerusalem.
Okay.
And it's
voice.
controlled. It's controlled by like the French and English. So this is a man, a Caucasian man, is this character.
Very popular actor.
Do you know who it is?
No, I'm asking you. Is it a very popular actor?
It is. Yeah, it is a popular actor.
Not off of this. Let's hear his voice.
Let's hear the
voice. All right, so I'm gonna share the page, but I'm gonna play it and then I'm gonna cut away. All right, here we go.
All right. Don't read anything. Don't look at anything.
The whole world is in chess. Any move can be the death of you. Do anything except remain where you started, and you cannot be sure of your end. Were you sure of your end once?
I was.
What was it?
To be buried 100 yards from where I was born.
What?
Now?
Now I sit in Jerusalem and look upon a king.
When I was 16, I won a great victory. I felt
I
in that
recognize
moment I would live to be 100.
I have a guess.
Okay.
I have a guess. Can I quickly do an IMDb search to get this actor's name because I don't recall his name?
You have to make the guess first.
Yeah.
I need to know. I need to know my guess. I'm searching a different movie. My guess is in, so I can remember his name because I can't remember.
Okay.
His
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. You can
right.
do that.
And I'm doing it so I'm doing it secretly so Joshua doesn't copy my answer.
Yeah.
Okay. I've also got a guess. I'm not sure of his name, but you'll know who I'm talking about when I say.
Okay.
It.
All right. On 3, I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me put this back up. All right.
Yeah. Give me your guesses.
On 3, Joshua. Or on 0.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Edward Norton.
Vision from Avengers.
Ooh, now see, you know what? Paul Bettany is a good. It's a good guess.
Vision.
Paul
The
Bettany's true.
correct answer is Edward Norton.
I know. I have.
It
I've
is
never seen this
Edward
movie.
Norton.
Pull the picture
Never
of
seen
Edward
this
Norton,
movie.
so you can remind
Never
people.
seen this movie. He's the lead on Fight Club.
Yeah.
Freaking never seen this movie. I knew. I hear the voice. I knew his voice.
Mhm.
Freaking. All right, here we go. I'm pulling up.
He gives a great
IMDb.
performance in this movie.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, he gives a great performance.
I
King
never
Kong.
seen this movie. This is
interesting.
almost more fun because I never saw it and I
Mhm.
got it right.
And that's
Yeah.
like a famous scene in the movie where he's like, "When I was 16, I won a great victory,
Freaking never saw the movie. I've
okay,
and
not
I
seen
thought
it.
I thought I would live
Yeah.
forever, and now I know I will not live to see 30."
All right. Let me
So
get
this
through.
is
Go ahead.
this one. The next one we'll have to. I'll
You're
have
gonna
to pull
show
up
Okay.
because
Let me go to the picture.
Yeah, we can go to the picture.
So go to the picture.
The
Okay,
woman
so this
behind the
one's a
mask.
female.
Yeah, I so first I want to see if you guys can guess based on the eyes.
Okay. So go ahead and share. I'm not well based on the eyes. So you want us to guess before we hear the audio?
You don't have to.
Do we get extra points if we do?
Um,
I already
You
got
can
one
guess
over
bef-
Joshua.
you can guess before the video.
I don't.
I don't want to
have a
guess before the video. I don't
Okay.
want to
No, I
guess.
don't have a guess.
All right, you get now. I'm. You're gonna share my screen and play the video,
Correct. And then I'm going to cut
Um,
off so I don't.
but you're gonna cut off. Josh, I think you ought to look away so you don't accidentally see something.
I'm going to cover where I view.
I mean, I won't look at
right?
the
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody.
I just pay attention to the camera.
All right, go ahead,
Okay.
share your screen, bro. I have to click you in and then
Mhm.
I'll cut away and you hit play, all right?
All right, here we go. I am sharing my screen
All right, share it.
right now.
Add to stage. All right, cutting away, now play the video.
Okay.
No, good to look.
Make sure it volume's up. I don't hear anything. There we go. I hear it.
Hello?
Janine, it's me.
I know, I'm at work.
I know. I'm outside.
What's the situation?
You know the situation. We've been over
That's
this.
Tom Hiddleston.
No, that's
Two people involved.
Simon Pegg.
Things kind of a struggle, complete mess.
You're talking about here.
Nicholas, what do you want?
Well, I have something important to tell you, and I didn't want to do it over the phone.
I've been transferred. I'm moving away for a while.
The Brits are hard.
Yeah.
Janine, I've been transferred. I'm moving away for a while.
I know. Bob told me.
Hold on, give it just one more second.
I wanted to tell you in person. And there's no reason we can't be civil with each other. It's not that long ago we were talking about getting married.
Yes, but you were already married to the force, weren't you?
We're actually supposed to call it the service now. Official vocab guidelines state that force is too aggressive.
See? It's only ever about the job. It's all you care about.
That's not true.
No,
Hmm.
you have that rubber plant.
All right, so that's it.
I have a guess, but I don't even know what she plays in, and I don't know what her name is.
Shh. Okay, she plays in a lot of stuff.
No, I would definitely have seen something her with
You
that.
definitely seen something.
I think
Then
you should
I have
pull up
no
IMDb, Josh. I think you should pull up IMDb. So if you think you've seen something with her
Well,
in it, you can search
I
it
don't
and
know
find
what
her
to look
name.
up because I don't know. I have an actor's face in my mind, but I don't even know what I've seen with her in it.
Mm.
I'm gonna confirm it's not her. It's, if you have an actor's face in your mind,
But I don't know what she's been on. Then I got no clue.
yeah.
Then you would know what she's on.
All right, all right. Take a guess.
I feel like I need to search because I don't know her name.
Amy Adams. I don't know.
What?
It's not
It's
Amy
not even
Adams.
a Brit. This person is
Yeah, but
definitely
Edward Norton.
originated-
Edward Norton was doing a British accent
but
in Kingdom of Heaven.
obviously it was Edward Norton.
Mm-hmm. So I really thought the eyes would be the hint to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm completely lost, dude. Her voice does sound familiar, but I'm
Mhm.
lost. I can't.
I
I don't
am
even know
too.
what to search for. I don't know where to begin. I haven't seen this
Yeah.
movie.
Go ahead and pull a picture of her up.
Who is she?
You guys aren't going to take a guess?
No,
Joe,
I
you
got
don't have a
nothing.
guess?
I secede. We
I
both
said in the end.
secede. We both secede.
Okay.
So we both forfeit. It's still going to be 1-0.
All right. This is Kate Blanchett.
What?
Yeah. in the movie Hot Fuzz. Yeah, this is Kate Blanchett. I remember when I first watched this movie, I was like, I recognize her, but she's behind the mask the whole time, and we never see her face. But this whole beginning of the movie is like, it's like cameos and references. Peter Jackson's actually cameoed in this. Yeah, he's
That's
like,
funny.
they're like, oh, how's your hand? Because he was Simon Pegg was fighting crime. He's a police officer, and he's like, oh, it's fine, because he had. And then it shows like a quick flashback of getting stabbed in the hand by a mall Santa. And that's Peter Jackson.
Funny.
All right.
Are you pulling up that actress?
I am, but I'm spelling her
Well,
name.
you guys
wrong for
know,
some
you guys
reason.
know Kate Blanchett from Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know she is. I wasn't spelling her name right.
Mhm.
Oh, it's Kate with a C.
With a C.
That's why I was confused.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kate Blanchett.
With
She
a C.
plays
Yeah.
Galadriel. in Lord of the
Galadriel.
Rings. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have guessed that. I'm gonna be honest. Let me take a look at them eyes again.
No, I still don't see it.
The eyes,
No?
the eyes wouldn't have given it away for me.
See, if you just stuck a photo of just her nose out, then I'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
Kate
you know
Blanchett.
what? Her lower face, I probably
Yeah.
could have guessed 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she was wearing a Batman mask, would have got it.
Yeah.
You know what? But honestly, if anybody wearing a Batman mask, you can almost always
You
guess
can
who it is.
almost
Yeah.
always tell who they are. I would be a dead giveaway with my teeth,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? I have a snaggle tooth,
And freaking Christian Bale with his mouth.
right?
Yeah.
It's never closed.
But at least they covered up his mole up here, right? That would have been a dead
Yes.
giveaway. Let's do one more. We got another
Yeah,
one.
we have one more.
All right, I'm gonna show the
And
picture.
I actually haven't seen this movie all the way through, but this is another very famous performance behind a
I
mask.
think I might know this, and not because of. I think I've seen this. I mean, I've not seen the movie, but I know I almost watched it.
Okay, well, we'll play the audio and let Joe guess.
It's a male or female?
Male.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Don't look. I had to go between tabs here.
Good evening, London. Allow me first to apologize for this emergency channel. I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of the everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility and repetition. Bloody hell. I enjoy them as much as any bloke. But in the spirit of commemoration, whereby those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, are celebrated with a nice holiday, I thought we could mark this November the 5th, a day that is sadly no longer remembered, by taking some time.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Dang it. How am I supposed to know this? The voice when he goes down,
Mhm.
it springs into my mind, but the person's face does not spring into my mind.
Yeah.
It just hits
Yeah,
me
I
in the
knew
I
it
know
was.
this voice button. I know this voice. You did a really good job choosing 3 movies I have not seen.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair. Joshua doesn't. Do you have a guess, Joshua?
I knew who it was. I looked up his name, but I knew who it was.
Dang it! It's gonna be a tie then if you get it right.
Yeah.
Can I have like a
I feel like I
second
cheated
longer?
though with this one because I've.
Yeah,
kind
you can
of
have a
seen this
second
movie.
longer.
Yeah,
I
I
need-
kind
I
of
need-
cheated. I wouldn't say it's a tie. You definitely beat me.
Hold on. Can you hear this?
No.
Oh wait.
And men with guns will soon be on their way.
Chances.
Damn it. Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in the middle of conversation, words will always.
I think you're on the right path here.
Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth.
It sounds like you're on the right path. It sounds like you're on the right path here.
With this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity.
Do you think you can make a guess?
I can make a guess, but it's wrong. I know
Okay.
it's wrong.
Make a guess.
Yeah.
Hold on. I just need to, I think I know his name,
You
but I
can
don't.
make as many guesses as you want.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think I only have one guess, and I don't think it's correct.
Okay.
1 second. Cast of. What was he on? Oh. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is not correct, but my guess
Mm-hmm.
is going to be Ian McShane.
It's not Ian McShane.
So,
although, you know what?
my-
That is a good guess.
My guess, I think this is how you pronounce his name. Hugo Weaving.
It is Hugo Weaving.
He plays
Elrond.
Elrond from
He
Lord of
is
the Rings.
Elrond.
Dang, it's so obvious now. It's so obvious. It
It's-
sounds
yeah.
like Lord Elrond. It sounds like him.
Play
So-
it one more time so you can hear the Elrond in his
Of course,
voice.
it's clearly Elrond in his voice.
He also plays the bad guy in the Matrix. What's his
Matrix.
name in Matrix?
And the Red Skull in Captain America.
But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty,
Yeah,
you need only look into a mirror.
yeah.
Good.
He
It's
is
good. He's
definitely
good.
he is definitely throwing more of a raspiness,
deepness in there.
deepness to his voice there. So
Um,
it is
yeah, I
kinda
can-
But
hard.
I can hear him saying, "I was there
Yeah.
at the."
He sealed on!
The rings.
Throw it into the
Yeah.
fire.
Funny.
No, so I thought it was funny. I knew when I was making this as I was watching Kingdom of Heaven. And I was like, Norton's a good performance. I wonder what other, there's other performances behind the mask. I know everybody knows Tom Hardy is Bane.
Yeah.
So I picked this one and I picked Hugo Weaving. I didn't know that it was Hugo Weaving when I looked it up, but I was thinking of either like side performances or main performances entirely behind a mask.
Yeah. But you see where I was going though when I guessed Ian McShane.
Ian McShane is a good guess.
Like
He's a
I
good
knew
guess.
it wasn't him, but there was a certain cadence that he follows, like that
And
they
you know
flirt
what?
with.
You know what? I think the British is harder for us to get
It really is.
than American. Like if who's
Like how did
another-
I pull Edward Norton out of that clip? Like
because it was clearly Edward Norton.
well,
Now, if
because
Norton-
I thought it was clearly Edward Norton, right?
if two actors with a British accent, like if you got Tom Holland and somebody with the same pitch voice as Tom Holland, I would probably not know who is who. Yeah,
Right.
I would probably say Tom Holland. But yeah, that was just a little game I wanted to play.
It's fun.
See if we could guess the actors.
Mhm.
That's fun. That's really fun.
Yeah.
I noticed you don't have an end slide. It just ends with
Yeah. It
We just
I don't know
ended.
how I didn't get an end slide.
Well, you were fussing at Joshua a couple weeks ago for not having an
slide.
a transition slide. So I
Yeah.
thought I'd point that out. That it ends on.
I use a lot of the shortcuts. I probably deleted it when I was going through.
probably because you're so quick on the computer. You just
Yeah,
you bump
so
the
fast.
delete button here and there,
Mhm.
right? By
Um,
accident.
It's really feeling like fall here. I don't know if it feels that way in Florida, but it really feels like fall.
We
today.
don't get
so-
fall in Florida.
It feels kind of like fall. I think
feels fall.
give it another week or two, it'll feel like fall when the
We-
leaves are turning.
we gotta
Florida,
get those flannels out, and we gotta do some apple picking.
Florida does not get a fall. We do not get fall.
Yeah, no, you guys might get a
We
little
get
bit chilly, but
We get a Pennsylvania summer.
mhm.
Yeah.
So we're on the Gulf of Mexico, dude. All that hot air is just pumping up towards us, and all that
Mhm.
tropical foliage is just all around us. There's nothing's dying here. This year, you know,
nothing but old people.
Nothing but nothing
God.
but snowbirds. You know, nothing but snowbirds come down from. Dang it!
Yeah, that was my podcast. I did notice, like, after the fact, I was like, this is all just like director stuff.
It's all directors, but it's all right. I like.
But it was especially like the Napoleon thing. I'm super interested. Like 9 battles, big battles. He said he filmed it in 60 some days.
62 days.
Sheesh.
Wild, man.
I'm looking forward to these fight scenes. Anytime these directors, like, you know, Christopher Nolan or Ridley Scott, they're like, we're doing these big movies with these big scenes.
Right.
I'm like, man, I'm on board. Let me watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And it is revolutionary, and I love that they're being ballsy about it. They're not just like, let's do the easy thing, but he's like, let's do something difficult and let's come under budget. You know what I mean?
Well, the last Napoleon movie I watched was all like the Waterloo fight, and it's an old movie, but it's like one of the biggest fight scenes ever recorded in history. They have thousands and thousands of people out there. They have like the Russian militia out on their horses playing a lot of the cavalry. It's an awesome battle scene.